that night.
Well, that's one poster shot that I got. That's a famous shot.
John Starks battled his way into the NBA despite tremendous odds in 1988. But he was cut by the Warriors after just one season and found himself in basketball's minor leagues.
Don Nelson said, this kid's too wild to play in the NBA.
I said, eventually my time's gonna come again, and when it do, I'm gonna be ready.
That time came when the Knicks invited him to training camp prior to the 1990-91 season.
It was the last day, and I felt that, I may, get cut. And so I said, I'm gonna come in here and show these coaches that I want to stay.
He tried to go in and jam over Patrick Ewing in a practice.
He caught my dunk, and I came down and twisted my knee. It was kind of like a blessing in disguise because you can't cut you if you're injured. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I accept this injury.
Once he got his foot in the door, he never let it get kicked out.
From his earliest days in a Knick uniform, he set out to prove he belonged.
My first game, I was so hyped. People said, was you scared? I said, no, because I had played Michael over in my mind so many times. I had played him one-on-one.
Starks comes in, and John Starks is a player they activated yesterday.
He looked at me. He like, before the night is over, you're going to be calling me Mr. Jordan.
Stops the dribble, plays it into Jordan. Starks steals the ball, falls out of bounds with it.
He didn't have anything to lose. No one knew who he was to begin with. He took that as his personal challenge.
Jackson on the drive, ahead to Starks. He lays it up. Good. John Starks' first 2 points.
I end up, playing well that game. And after the game, I walked up to him. I said, he's going to get Mr. Jordan out of me tonight. My confidence level just shot up.
By the Knicks. Off the steal. Starks. Whoa!
He knew he had this chance, and he was going to make the most of it. He just treated the Garden like his own personal stage.
Shot clock down to 1. Starks. Oh! Starks hits a three-pointer.
Playing in the mecca of basketball and to be able to be a contributor to the team's success, it was a dream world in a sense.
Starks had finally found a home. In his second season in New York, he thrived under a new coach and a style of play that suited him perfectly.
The 90 team under Riley was physical. The Oakman, Ewing, Starks was the guy out front.
Here's John Starks.
When Coach Riley came, he put a lot on my shoulders.
We had the persona, team-wise, of a nasty physical team, and that's exactly what John Starks was.
He wasn't the most refined person on the floor, but he was trying. And I think in New York, that goes a long way.
Fans identify with the underdog. John Starks was bagging groceries, out of CBA, and just played hard. Also was a little crazy, too.
Look out, trick to Starks upset.
He was just so passionate about the game. Sometimes maybe it kind of worked to the negative where he'd get teed up.
His loss of control will send him to the bench.
He would just lose it sometimes.
It's a flagrant 2.
His headbutt of Reggie Miller in the playoffs was inopportune, but again, you can't separate the bad from the good with people. You have to accept it all. And the overall package of John Starks was unquestionably positive.
Starks had already become a fan favorite in New York. In the spring of 1993, he became a legend.
And the Knicks lead remains at 3. We're down to 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Game 2, 1993 series, Chicago was coming back. John having the ball out there on the left side, and everybody thinks he's going to play, giving the ball into Patrick.
I saw B.J. Armstrong every time I shift my eyes and he knew a pick was coming from Patrick. He would jump to my high side.
John Starks breaks loose at the 7th Avenue end of the Garden.
I'm like, you got to go in strong. And I just jumped as hard as I could.
Horace Grant kind of steps up, and Jordan pops in there, too. And Starks just went over both of them and threw it down.
Starks! Yes! What a move by Starks, who was able to sky
the audacity of that move was breathtaking.
I've been in the Garden a lot of times. I don't know if I've ever heard a louder roar than that night.
Being the undersized guy, being the underappreciated guy, being the guy who came out of nowhere, the guy who didn't go to a big college program. It was such a quintessential New York moment.
Well, that's one poster shot that I got as a famous shot.
Starks for three. Yes. John Starks.
Oh, man. I was having a great series.
Starks unleashing. Hits the three. Starks has terrorized the Rockets in the fourth.